Welcome back. Final round of Swiss.
Whee!
Woo! Alex back out in timeout. So
We've decided he really needs to sit in the corner and think about his actions this time.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know what he said last round. I wasn't here. I hope you kept him in check though.
I kind of just la 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 la.
Great. So we'll find out later on when we watch the VOD.
Yeah.
You know, all of the things that Alex has said. But we got one round left for Swiss before we got to top 8. This is the serious round.
This is a very serious round. This is like so many of the either the tables that have ID'd or these are some of your win-ins as well, which is really consequential. So we'll head on down to the table.
Absolutely. But before that, this of course is not only the Palladium Games Highlander Open, but a big charity brawl organised by Nathan Basser.
Yes.
I believe he just announced $3,000, was it? It was some
very
large
amount of money is in the prize pool for this event.
But also a lot of money raised. We had a raffle that we just drew.
That's true. Yes, I believe it was $3,000 raised from Minus 18, which is a charity focused on creating community spaces for LGBTQ plus youth, which is just a fantastic cause to support.
Absolutely. So just a great day of magic, raising money for a fantastic cause. And now we get down to the pointy end. We'll jump down to our match. We've got Kyle Gibson. He's back. Didn't go so well for him last round.
We're running it back for Kyle. We're seeing if he can bring it back this time around.
And on the other side, Ben Hawke, he's 3-1-1. So he's looking for a win to get into the top 8.
That would be really key for Ben Hawke. Can Kyle keep him off of it, though?
Yeah, we'll see. Kyle, we're not sure. Well, I think he'd have to win and then cross his fingers some results go his way.
Yeah, we'd have to do some breakers type math.
Yeah, it's my least favorite type of math, really.
And I do believe when I walked out and saw, I do believe the top 3 tables all ID'd.
Yeah, so only a couple slots left. These decks are actually pretty similar. So Kyle, we saw last round. He's playing an 8-point Dimir list, leaning on things like Harbinger of the Sea, and back to basics, so a bit of mana denial. Ben's doing the same thing in blue-red, which means he has twice as many moon effects. He's got Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon as well. The thing about that, though, both of these decks are built with those in mind. Yeah. Which means they're not very good against the other person.
It's true. It's then going to come down to what are your non-Blood Moon effects and creatures and spells, and whose are better. Is the black include better, or is the red include better? And
I know we've called Kyle Dimir, and he's put a black-red land in play to start the game.
So, look, maybe...
There's 3 red cards in his 75.
Okay.
There's a Deadpool in the main deck. And there's a Red Blast and a Pyroblast on the sideboard.
Sure.
And that's just, he's playing 2 red Surveil lands and that's it. This is his latest innovation was, I'm going to add 3 red cards to my blue-red deck.
To my blue-black deck.
My blue-black deck, rather. So.
Look, and here's a really good green-black card. We've got a Deathrite Shaman, because Wizards decided that the best 1-mana Planeswalker is not a Planeswalker.
They decided that black should get a Mana Dork?
Yeah, also a really interesting choice. And then we're going to Ponder as well.
Yeah, so
we're going to think about that. And we're going to think about...
Why do Wizards do this? Why does black get a 1-mana Planeswalker?
Well, doesn't that lead down kind of the rabbit hole of like, why does green get an extra turn spell?
Well, yeah, I mean, that one's pretty old if we're talking about Seed Time.
Seed Time.
And very niche. That one I don't mind, to be honest. Blue is too good. And any card that hates on your blue opponents, that's fine.
Soporific Springs. How often do you really see someone cast the front side? Because I feel like every time I see someone play a Soporific Springs, it's already faced around the other on the land side.
It's probably about 80-20 in my experience. This is one that you actually play more than a lot of the double-faced lands. And part of the reason is it often gets played in like combo decks where all you need is a bounce spell to bounce their Rest in Peace or whatever.
Yeah.
So it does come up a little bit, but yeah, it's mostly a land.
Is it?
Just like Lorien Revealed, right? Same thing.
It's usually an island cycling. It's usually what your Lorien Revealed is usually an Underground Sea or something, right? Like it's usually not actually a Lorien Revealed.
Yeah.
Oh, like speaking of, it's almost like you predicted
That's
this.
incredible.
We like Beetlejuiced it. Beetlejuice. Okay, so what is this? Is this just a basic island?
Yeah.
It's looking like a basic island.
I would expect Volk, but maybe he doesn't have red spells in hand.
I'm gonna shout. This is. The unglued lands are some of my favorite cycles.
They are beautiful. I will say,
so pretty.
I like actually all of the unsets. They all have nice.
Really good.
I'm a fan of the most recent ones, the space themed ones as well. They're quite good. Infinity. But yeah, the original unglued are beautiful.
Are we due for another unset soon? Like Infinity was like what?
It was a few years. Yeah. My understanding is that. Ooh.
Harbinger, speaking of mana denial effect, Harbinger of the Seas.
We're gonna float a black mana.
Gonna float a black mana. I was gonna say to Long Goodbye. I was like, you need to, or I was thinking Fatal Push potentially as well. But oh no, Fatal Push is mana 2 or less, unless you have
2 or
Revolt.
less. You need Revolt. Long Goodbye really important there. It can't be countered, which is very important because there is a Force of Will in Ben's hand, and I think that was his plan here. Was I'm going to play this Harbinger, and then I'm going to protect it with my Force of Will.
And Kyle said, "What if I played a spell that can't be countered?"
How about this? And this is I know a point of contention with Kyle. He's been trying to find. Ooh.
I know.
Hey, you're a standard player. You know this one.
I recognize this card from my standard games. Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. That is going to ninjutsu the DRS back to hand, and we are going to Kaito out. And it looks like we're going to. Is that zero the? It's going to zero the Kaito.
Zero.
We're going to surveil 2 and then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn.
Which is 1, because Kyle only has 1 opponent.
This is true.
So there's only 1.
Look, Kaito, a card that could be really good in Commander. I actually don't see a ton of people playing Kaito in Commander though.
Yeah. It is funny. As soon as the DRS attacks, you sort of know what's up.
You just
Kind of
sit there
like,
and go,
that's weird.
huh?
Huh?
That's weird. That card doesn't normally do that.
Your opponent taps your DRS and you're like, cool, what color of mana are you making? You're like, no, I'm attacking.
No, I'm attacking you.
Okay.
What's the, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Suddenly your DRS turned into a Kaito.
Absolutely. So Kaito, really powerful, this card. Obviously, really good in Standard, but pretty good here too. It's just really hard to remove. It attacks really well, it draws cards, it does everything. And we do see that off the Surveil, Kyle actually mills his own Harbinger.
Yeah.
He says,
I like my black mana.
I like my black mana.
I like my red mana.
I think you want a basic mountain anyway. You have heaps of islands and blue spells. Like, this isn't really the matchup for it. And I suspect we'll see them both come out. Odawara here going to bounce the Kaido. 4 mana bounce spell is not where you want to be.
No, this does put Kyle in the position, though, of needing to play out another threat of some sort to be able to get the Kaito back in, unless you just want to hard cast a 4-mana Kaito.
But of course, Ben has Force of Will in hand, so I'm sure he's hoping Kyle just goes land 4, cast Kaido. Whereas Ninjutsu is an ability. It doesn't actually get cast, so it can't be countered.
Not by...
Well, not by a counter spell.
Not by a traditional counter spell. What can you Tails End the Ninjutsu trigger?
You can. It is.
Yeah.
Or...
triggered or activated, or...
No, it is an activated ability, so Tails End gets triggered abilities and legendary spells, I believe. Also, for viewers at home, I know you couldn't see it, but I hope you could hear the finger point as Kira went, actually, no, traditional counter spell. There was a finger raised.
Actually.
You see Thoughtseize. This is a hand of strong blue cards.
Wow, what's...
Counterspell, Brainstorm, Preordain.
Memory Lapse?
Great question. And Force of Will.
Yeah.
That one, we're going to take a look. That is... I think it is a Memory Lapse, yes.
Very old Memory Lapse, it looks like then. But this also, you've got a lot of good cards to pitch to Force of Will, but this isn't a very active hand.
No. You're hoping the Brainstorm or the Preordain can find some action, but there's a lot of... It is 3 counterspells.
Yeah, Force of Will is going to be the choice, and what land is this, Lorien revealed?
My favorite Lorien revealed is the one that gets Mystic Sanctuary. That's a really nice island to find.
Yeah. And that actually is an island that, if you played it, would enter untapped, because it does look like there is enough instants or sorceries in your graveyard.
Well, Mystic Sanctuary looks for 3 islands in play.
Oh, sorry,
so
islands, but then it puts an instant or sorcery on top of the library. Excuse me, folks.
And so Kyle's going to take the Force of Will to clear the way to resolve this frog, knowing his opponent has no removal in hand, a bunch of counterspells. That's
a good moment.
Sequencing. That feels good. And this is where the black mana comes in, black versus red. Can't play Psychic Frog in your blue-red deck.
Preordain, Island, Galvanic Discharge. Galvanic Discharge, good. You could threaten to, ask Kyle if he'd like to discard his hand to keep his Psychic Frog.
Yeah, how do you feel about single red mana for Mind Rot? I mean, it's Mind Rot and you gain 3 energy.
Seems pretty decent.
The other thing is Ben may try and set up that Lutri to double it up. Instead, looks like he'll push both cards to the bottom, try and find something else, but instead, just another beautiful island.
It is a beautiful island.
It's really nice. Still got the Brainstorm, so we can dig deeper.
Yeah.
We can keep looking.
We can keep digging. We have the technology.
Instead, he'll just pass. So he's holding up both counterspells here, Memory Lapse and Counterspell, and can Brainstorm as well if he wants. Kyle, though, must be thrilled to untap with this Psychic Frog.
It lived to see another turn, which I do think generally is pretty good. Gonna just take a little beep beep one and we'll draw a card.
And this is the power of Psychic Frog. It puts the onus on your opponent to do something about it.
This isn't even my full potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Or this isn't even my final form. What if my frog started flying?
Or if frog started flying and grew to 3, 4, 5 times the size.
Yeah. Flooded Strand for Kyle, and let's have a little bit of a think.
I think that's a Nationals Flooded Strand from many years ago with
really
the beach on
pretty.
it. It's very pretty.
I'll say I do love judging people's land choices.
Oh, yeah?
And just like the art choices.
How do you feel about Kyle's basic islands? The snow-covered basic islands?
These aren't the ones I would choose. I said this to Alec in an earlier round because Hanbin's playing a similar deck to what I'm playing.
Oh, he has beautiful lands.
He has very beautiful lands. He's got the Infinity full arts, but I play snow covers, but I get the Modern Horizons one.
Yeah, that's my favorite snow-covered island.
But I love and respect that Kyle's lands all match.
Yes. I think that's sort of the minimum bar he constructed. I really enjoyed that Hanbin, I was talking to him about that match. So he has the Infinity full art basics, right? He also has a borderless Blood Moon, which has the big red moon in it. And at first glance, it looks a bit like the mountain. He did say he nearly kept a hand because he thought the Blood Moon was a basic mountain.
Oh, no.
At first glance, because it's a big red moon.
That's right.
It's borderless. And then he looked closer and went, oh, actually, this hand's not good.
That's the Double Masters box topper Blood Moon.
Yes.
I have a borderless Blood Moon, but it's the anime Wilds of Eldraine Blood Moon
also
foil,
very pretty.
which is the one that's on the back of my jacket.
I love those.
They're
all
so
of those
pretty.
ones. They're beautiful. Meanwhile, in this game, so Kyle attempted to cast Stock Up. Ben had a memory lapse. Kyle cast Thought Scour, looking for maybe a counterspell, or also just wanting to cast his Thought Scour without milling the Stock Up.
Yeah.
Stock Up's back on top, and then the DRS is back in play. Ben decided not to counter the DRS or anything like that.
Brainstorm.
Draw 3 cards.
Draw 3. Oh, 2 of those were lands, but I think that's a Stock Up of Ben's own.
Believe so, and one of the lands is a fetch land, so he gets to shuffle away the cards he puts back.
Wow, very good. And that's going to be 2 islands, which is going to be a really great shuffle.
Just love to get rid of them. We're still struggling to find an answer to this frog.
To anything.
Well, yes, to anything.
And again, what's really nice about seeing the DRS down is that if Ben has some other kind of answer, if he's got Blood Moon or if he's got any other answer, the DRS can create mana.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, it's another advantage of the black over the red is you get to play a mana dork.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but...
It felt weird to say that.
So what are you playing black for? Oh, mana dorks.
That's just actually for my mana dorks.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, sorry. It's my mana dork that's also a planeswalker. Huh?
It is actually, I find it very interesting because I do think Deathrite Shaman is much better in Grixis decks, in blue-black decks, than it is in green decks.
Yes.
Because in a green deck, you can play Birds of Paradise, and that does, half of what DRS
Birds of
does.
Paradise, Noble Hierarch, Ignoble Hierarch. We don't even need to keep going.
Delighted Halfling.
Delighted Halfling.
It keeps going. Like,
the list
you can
really
get
keeps
mana
going.
dorks.
And that is going to be Ben's own Stock Up, and I do believe I saw a Blood Moon off of that, and there is also, I think, Subtlety and Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Blood Moon, not so great here, with basic Swamp in play and 3 islands. Jace the Mind Sculptor, though, we have seen be very, very good against Psychic Frog several times today. Just 3 unsummons is quite good, and if you ever get a chance to plus it once and get another 2 unsummons, it's
pretty good. I'm a bit of a Magic zoomer in that I never got to play like standard with Jace the Mind Sculptor, which I have been told was like the worst time like ever.
Yes, I have heard.
But seeing it in Highlander and seeing how powerful it is as a one-of it just makes me terrified.
Well, the thing is, Jace the Mind Sculptor has really had a redemption arc because it's no longer the big bad. It's no longer the oppressive, planeswalker that was at its heyday in Standard. It's kind of like the underdog now. We love to see play and beat the odds against all of these powerful 20, 23, 4, 5 cards that only cost 1 mana,
This could be a really interesting moment where we see the DRS attack again to ninjutsu a Kaito in. Because 9 life is not that much here. And is this going to ninjutsu? Yes, it is. What if my mana dork became a Kaito?
Pretty good. That's pretty good, actually.
And discarding a Cling to Dust as well to put a counter on the frog, which will put Ben to 4.
The pressure really ramps up. There is, I see, a Fury in Ben's hand, which is a nice answer to the Kaido potentially. If Kyle doesn't plus it, just deal 4, threaten to block. But of course, this frog can fly.
This frog can do many things, and it can also fly.
Obviously, all frogs can fly.
Yeah. What's like it's usually like, tell me this when pigs fly, but what if it was a frog fly?
All the time. That's actually the alternative saying. So when pigs fly is like never, or it'll never happen. When frogs fly is frequently, actually.
Well, do you think also the context is when frogs fly is like you're in danger kind of thing? When frogs fly, that is a bad sign.
Things are going badly for you, yes. Yeah, I agree, yep.
Pigs fly is like once in a blue moon, ha 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 ha. But frog fly is danger zone.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing we could see, Ben now is just short on Mun. This is the real problem. There's 2 lethal threats in play. He has to find a way to answer both of them. And they're both sort of evasive, right? So, tricky. And he's got expensive cards in hand, right? We see the Fury. That could be really good. We see the Jace. Both good individual answers, but they cost a lot of money.
Can't target the Kaito while it's a creature either because it has hexproof. That is going to be a 0 on the Kaito as well to surveil 2. Kept 2 on top. Draw. Replay the DRS.
And now down at 4 life, the DRS starts to get scary. And this is a consult the star charts.
So that's going to be look at the top 6 here for Ben and put 1 into hand because it was not kicked. So you only get 1 of these cards.
It's a really cool card. Sort of impulse / dig through time split card.
There is an island, a misstep. I believe that's also a snapcast. I'm tilting my head like that's going to change how well I can see these cards. I believe it's a Snapcaster Mage as well.
Interesting. So some options.
What did we take? Show me, Ben.
Would almost love a red card. Because a red card would let you pitch cast this Fury. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Took a Tamio, I think?
Took Tamio.
Very interesting. That does block the frog.
It blocks the frog, but does that feel like a little bit of a concession of the position that Ben is in?
It does a little bit, yeah. Especially with the Deathrite Shaman now. 2 activations will take care of the last of Ben's life total. So really it's 2 threats that are lethal this coming turn, and then 1 more that will get there in a couple turns.
It feels like the targets for Fury are now a little bit too varied. Like you need to take care of the DRS, you need to take care of the Kaito, and you still also need to take care of the frog.
Yes, agreed.
Like there's almost just a little bit too much.
Because if you Fury this turn, you can get the Kaido.
Fury.
And then next turn you can Jace and bounce the frog, but then the DRS gets you. And you have to stop the frog for this turn as well.
Does Kyle have a counterspell?
Could well. Does seem like he's thinking about it.
Because I'm wondering if the card at the back of his hand, it looks like a future sight counterspell.
That
it's a drown in the lock.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's going to probably send us to game 2. Yep, so Kyle really just got on the front foot, kept pushing forward and forward. And we saw Ben had heaps of cards in hand. He had Jace the Mind Sculptor in hand. He had lots of things going and just ran out of life to be able to deploy those cards. Also had a companion sitting in exile there in the companion zone, waiting to come into play, but just ran out of time. So that's Kyle taking game 1.
Oof.
Absolutely. Now, the first thing in sideboards that will be coming out will be all of the Back to Basics, the Harbinger of the Seas, the Blood Moon, the Magus of the Moon. All of them are coming straight out.
Obviously, your sideboard isn't 100% teched for the mirror, but it almost feels like you could take 15 cards out and just put your whole sideboard in and maybe it would be a little bit better in this scenario.
There are definitely some real stinkers that are, I mean, a lot of the cards are just, your good black, blue, red interaction and counter spells and, cantrips and that, but there are definitely some stinkers.
I have a feeling that all of Ben's Pyroblasts, Hydroblasts, Blue Blasts coming in. Maybe not the Hydro. Sorry, is it the Hydro Blast?
Probably not Hydro. Yeah.
Sorry.
For the 3 red cards, probably not. Probably not quite.
Well.
Kyle, on the other hand, will definitely be bringing in all of his Hydro Blasts and Pyroblasts.
Both players could also bring Choke, Carpet of Flowers, maybe?
I don't believe there's green mana in either deck.
Oh, sorry.
But they would be good.
Jeez Louise. I'm just thinking of the effect, not the mana cost.
We did see that
DRS, so...
Well, that's true. Kyle has a green card in his
Kyle
deck.
has a green card in his deck. I don't know what you're talking about.
We did see that from Braden earlier today. He and JD as well, they're both playing Mardu with a green splash for Choke, Carpet of the Flowers, and maybe Veil of Summer or something. And we did see that from Braden earlier today against a Grixis opponent, I think.
I'm not allowed to call JD's deck what they want me to call it because they were told, no, that's gross. So leave in the comments what you think JD is calling their Mardu deck that splashes green. It's actually worse. It's what they call their Orzhov deck that splashes red and green.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced that it is reasonable to call it an Orzhov deck. There were a lot of red cards for an Orzhov deck.
Well, that's why I think it's like this Mardu deck that splashes green. What do you call that? That sounds like the setup to a bad joke.
It does.
What do you call a Mardu deck? A bad Mardu deck that splashes green.
It reminds me of when we had original Khans of Tarkia.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had the fetch lands. And then shortly after that we had Battle for Zendikar with the bicycle lands, I guess. The dual lands with types, and they come in untapped if you have 2 basics. Which meant Standard became a format of 4-color decks. Yeah. Because you had fetch land, dual land mana bases, right? So everyone was 4 colors, which led to some really interesting namings of, colors. Because although I think there are official names, no one used them. So you just get things like Wet Jund, which is Jund plus blue, or...
Better than the alternative of what I've heard for that.
Yeah. Well, we're on stream. I'm choosing which ones. But it reminds me of that. Some of the names that came out of those decks.
I can see I believe that's a Hydroblast in hand for Kyle. And we're going to fetch Shock is what that looks like to me.
Yep. Well, no dual lands in Kyle's deck. No dual lands in either of these decks right now.
Well, 8-point decks allow you to play. That's like you can see the Lutri on Ben's side of the field. Again, like I play a very similar deck to this. Having an 8-point list gives you opportunities to play Lutri plus some good other cards like Misstep. Yep.
Misstep and Days in hand at the moment for Ben. So he's got a lot of early interaction.
Oh, is this going to be a DRS? No, it's a Duress.
It's a Duress. It's a DRS with extra steps, yeah.
Whoa, and Ben says, you cannot look at my hand.
Kyle, loving to play Zoltan Nuts. It's one of the League of Legends secret layers.
Oh, it's the Jinx one. Riftbound coming out soon.
It is. Next week now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delays.
I am very excited to play that game. Runtime for Worlds. The Worlds final is next weekend. So it's actually really nicely timed. We're going to pretend that was intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle was bemoaning... Well, so Kyle lost last round. And he was saying he was sad that it meant he probably couldn't top 8 anymore. But on the plus side, it meant now he could go to the pub and watch the semi-final that's on tonight for League of Legends. So he was actually looking forward to that. But
little did he know we were going to put him on feature.
Yeah, we said, you can't leave yet, though.
You can't leave.
You got one more round to play.
Dance, Kyle, dance.
Kyle, of course, well in the race to qualify for our end-of-season invitational as well. So the point's important for him. He's up there. I think he was second or third. He's up near the top, actually.
I'm going to pull the standings up so that we can have a little bit of a squiz there for you.
Meanwhile, these players playing a bid, draw, go. This will happen sometimes in blue mirrors. No one wants to commit a threat into open mana because you don't want to tap your own mana on your turn, get your spell counted, and then give your opponent a window to resolve something.
So the results as of September, Kyle's third.
He's third.
Yeah.
So is he gunning for second? How close is he? He's 5 points behind.
So.
And 58 behind Richard.
We don't talk about the points lead that Richard has in this event.
The top three. Richard on 161, Michael Billinghurst on 108, Kyle on 103, and then Nathan Smale on 86, who defeated Kyle last round, actually.
Wow.
So there's a bit of a gap between Richard and then everyone else.
Yeah. I would also like to take a moment to shout out Ben Tudman, who is currently 16th out of 24 and has played 2 events. Yeah,
he won one of them and then finished the top 8 of one, I think. Something like that, yep. Also, we should note, I think Richard was either 401 or 50 today. He's in the top 8 again.
He's in the top 8. He has top 8'd every event.
Yeah, we joke we never put him on coverage during the Swiss rounds because he'll be there later. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get him in the finals.
You'll see him. He's on his way. He's literally getting ready to go up there. And Kyle says, pretty please, can I see your hand this time? Gitaxian Probe. And Ben is going to say, well, yeah, okay, fine.
This is my favorite card as a commentator now. Because Yeah, because now I get to see what's in everyone's hand.
It's
Makes my job
really
much
nice.
easier.
I love it. I love a Thoughtseize, a Duress, when we just get to look at what's there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
nice.
We did see last month, though, Richard finally broke his streak. I think he comes second 3 times, something like that.
Yes.
Finally managed to close one out last.
And then he won.
And won one, which was excellent. Good to see. So after taking a look at Ben's hand, Kyle looks like is going to try and play a spell this turn.
And I believe there's a counter spell and a daze in Ben's hand.
Yeah, both a mana leak and a daze, so multiple options. Not playing a spell, never mind. We're just gonna do some surveillance.
Is also the Final Fantasy Showcase card that Ben has in his hand the counter spell? I thought it was like the Wild Rose Rebellion.
Yes, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
So that's a
3 counter
many
spells.
counter spells. And I think there was also a Flame of Venor. So a removal spell or a divination.
At what point is it too many counter spells? Like, at what point do you start sacrificing threats for just countering all of your opponent's things, and then when they're able to start resolving spells, it's just too late?
Well, I think there's a Brazen Borrow as well there. So we might see Ben actually put some pressure in play. And then once you're protecting that,
yeah,
we did actually see just land go. Never mind, I take it back. And this will be Arkham's Astrolabe, banned in Modern, this card.
Really?
Yeah. Not because it itself is too powerful, but 1-1 artifacts that draw a card and then sit around.
Mm-hmm.
Really good with like Mox Opal and Emery and Urza. So that one.
Okay.
I think this one really died for Mox Opal's sins, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Children's
Ooh.
Edict.
Flashing in the Brazen Bar, it's going to be met by an edict, and that's no pressure.
But this is the end of Kyle's turn. So he stepped down to 1 land now, which is one of the things you always look to try and do in these blue mirrors, is just trying to find openings where you can get your opponent down to not much mana and maybe try and resolve something. As it happens, Ben's got nothing to resolve. So he's just going to pass back.
Very difficult to resolve counter spells when there's nothing on the stack.
And one of them as well, the daze, much worse once your opponent knows about it. Kyle's going to play his 5th land, keep making land drops. And you see, Kyle actually has a Murktide region in hand. But he's not playing it because he knows there's a bevy of counterspells on the other side.
Yeah.
And he's just going to wait and be patient with this card. This is where potentially something like the Lutri can be really valuable if Ben can find a spot to spend that mana and effectively draw a card into his hand to try and break this stalemate. He also has that Flame of Venor, so he could choose to draw 2 cards at some point, cash that in, just keep the cards flowing. In fact, we might see that now.
Flame of Venor, let's go. Kyle deciding whether or not he likes Ben drawing cards.
Flame of Venor is such a interesting card.
Hydroblast.
Such a flexible card.
Yeah. Which
is really nice. Yeah, so Hydroblast will take care of it. Very mana efficient there. And Ben's hand is very reactive now. So we've got Counterspell, Mana Leak, Daze, and Unholy Heat.
Unholy Heat. Whee!
But
that's a Lutri buy?
That'll be Lutri. Just put that one in the hand.
I'd like 1 otter, please.
Yeah, I'd like my friend.
1 otter, please. This looks like a Murktide.
This will be Cling to Dust.
Ooh, Cling.
So this is actually one of the really powerful parts about Cling to Dust, is that in these Draw-Go mirrors, it sits in your graveyard and says 4 mana, exile some cards from my graveyard, and I get to draw a card. It's actually a very powerful support to make sure you can always use your mana whilst holding up interaction so that your opponent can't exploit that by just passing. You get to use your mana. Now Kyle quickly just checking the cards he knows from Ben's hand. Still most of them in the hand, actually. All those counter spells are still there, Kyle.
Yeah. The Daze and the Memory Lapse looking particularly yucky in this position too.
Yes.
At what point as well, even with that information, do you have to just try and get Ben to react? Get him to blink. Get him to, would you like to counter this? Would you like to counter this? Or are you going to let it resolve?
Yes, at some point you sort of shrug and say, well, we'll start seeing if we can resolve things. I think in general, Kyle will be pretty happy to keep not committing into it so long as he has other things to do. That's why the Cling to Dust is so powerful. At the moment, he's actually short a card. He needs 1 more card in his graveyard to exile to be able to escape that. But that kind of play pattern where you just don't give Ben an opportunity to use his counterspell to actually convert the cards in his hand while you continue to build up resources. Suspect we might be seeing something here though. The other thing is Ben tapped 3 mana. So he's only really got 1 counterspell up plus the Daze. So this might be the opportunity Kyle takes. Yep. And we're going to see here, he'll play 3 mana and exile some cards from his graveyard, leaving the Cling for later down the line, potentially. Yep. And now we're going to see a fight.
Murktide will enter, and that's a counter spell. And counterspell war.
Yep.
All the best fights are fought on the stack.
Leaving up 1 mana, importantly, for the days that he knows is there.
That's so brilliant. This is Kyle's number 3 in the tournament in points. He plays so incredibly well. I'm always very impressed watching Kyle's matches because he toes the line so well and he uses all of the information that is available to him to his advantage.
One thing is that this Murktide Regent, only a 6/6 though, because he opted to leave the Cling to Dust in the graveyard, and there is an Unholy Heat in Ben's hand.
Yeah.
However, his graveyard has land, creature, instant, and no sorcery in his hand, so he's not able to deal with that Murktide Regent.
Well, that Murktide Regent's a 3-turn clock for the time being.
It is, and if Kyle can fill his graveyard, then he can threaten to have the Cling to Dust up to grow the Murktide Regent, potentially.
Yeah.
So Ben really needs to find an answer to the large dragon, and quickly.
It's a dragon.
It is a dragon.
I don't know why I always thought it was an I always thought it was an elemental for some reason.
It has sort of like the spines on top that make, you know, it looks a little bit elemental.
Subtlety vibes a little bit.
Yeah, it does give subtlety.
A little bit, but again, that's an actual elemental. And I suppose the regents are usually dragons. Like when a card is called something regent, it's usually a dragon.
Yeah, yeah. Ben draws another counterspell. He's drawn a loose focus now. So the hand is 3 counterspells, an Unholy Heat that can't remove the dragon, and a Lutri.
Well, look, and this is an instance where you can actually just not do anything and just keep attacking. Like this Murktide is now lethal.
And this is the problem that you alluded to with the counterspells. Ben felt like he had to do something with his mana. He couldn't just keep passing and holding up counterspells and having Kyle not do anything and not play into them. So he tapped 3 mana to pick up his Lutri, thinking, you know, I have to do something to progress my game plan. And that was the opportunity Kyle took. He saw that opportunity and said, well, while you've only got 2 mana up, I can get something done. It looks like we're just going to see Lutri come in as a flash creature here.
As a blocker, really, because that but the Murktide has flying.
Has flying.
Oh, no.
So I think Ben might be in trouble now. Counterspells in hand and an Unholy Heat. That Murktide looking large.
Yeah. Lutri attack feels like a bit of a concession.
Agreed.
Feels like giant dragon. And I feel like if Kyle plays this correctly and just swings with the Murktide.
That's all he's got to do now. Untap, attack.
So we're going to do something in Ben's end step, it looks like.
Looks like there's a Brazen Borrower in his hand.
Brazen Borrower
he's thinking about.
Flip the Lutri back to hand.
Or just to put a 3-power flyer in play. Ben only has 4 life. So Kyle will know, okay, so if Ben can't deal with this Murktide Regent, that's going to win the game.
Yeah.
So let's assume that he can deal with it.
Yeah.
Do I want to put a 3-1 in play? And this is just more pressure. This is just him saying, well, I've got this flyer, I've got another flyer. I'm going to keep pressuring to try and end the game.
Stern Scolding.
Ooh. So that will counter the Brazen Borrower. It's a really neat counterspell, Stern Scolding. So flexible.
But I suppose as well, it's good to at least force Ben to empty his hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just go ahead. Whatever you have, throw it at me. You know, I'm going to eat all of your counterspells on cards that I actually might not care that much about. Murktide in and done.
I'll get the fist bump. So Kyle wins that game. He'll move up to 4-2 and he's going to cross his fingers, see if some results go his way and see if he can sneak into top 8.
Fingers crossed for Kyle. Regardless, he's going to get some really good points and he's going to be well in the running. He is definitely at this point. There's only one more points event after this one to secure an invite in the top 24 players for the Highlander Open Series, invite only in December. He's got it. He's number 3.
He'll be in.
There's no one else who can accrue enough points to get him out of the top spot. So he's made it to the Invitational at this point.
Yeah, but only one event left. So last chance for many people to try.
Yes.
It's tight, right? We talked about it. The top 3 have really run away a little bit.
Yeah, they have a bit.
Especially the top 1. But down the bottom half, sort of like 13 and beyond,
13 and beyond.
Very tight.
It's really tight. And there are people we haven't seen in a little bit. Like I just mentioned, like Ben Tedman hasn't played an event since February, I don't think. And so there's a chance that he'll need to at least come play one more event, grab a few more points just to make sure he's locked in.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, we've got the top 8 coming up here. We're going to find out soon. We'll see who's there. We will be back soon.